pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call. Or I'm sorry, actually, go ahead and do roll call, then we'll meet somebody.
Mayor Smith.
Present.
Alder Billier.
Present.
Alder Hill.
Present.
Alder King.
Present.
Alder Lancaster.
Present.
Alder Matheson.
Present.
Alder Wilson. Present. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Mike, someone you want to just do a quick introduction?
Absolutely,
Or
I mean-
Wes or whoever.
There was a rumor going around that we hired somebody, and that's not true. We actually stole somebody from Republic, and we're happy to have them. Sam Crawford's right here.
Come on up, Sam.
And
Shy?
he's been here what? A month and a half?
That's like
Couple of weeks. I mean, the honeymoon's been good, guys. The honeymoon's been good. So, he's been amazing for us. Streamlining procedures and everything, jumping in on both the public works side and the building side. So, and the nuisance side, and whenever we get in a bind, he just goes and handles things. So, I mean, it's kind of nice. He's been a lifesaver for my department. I can't say for Trevor's because he's always over there.
Yeah.
So, but he's been stellar. We're lucky to have him. But I wanted to introduce him to everybody. I mean, this is a great hire. We're happy to have him here, and he's going to be doing big things for us. We got some projects on the docket right now that are going to fall directly in his ample care. So, but this is Sam, and
Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I told Mike when I left Republic, I said I was not interested at all in finding another municipality to go to. I was done with the government side and wasn't just real sure about coming over here, and it didn't take very long, and I knew that really felt like I was where I needed to be, so I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Glad to hear.
Well, I hope we have no Republicans watching, but I left there as well.
Yeah. I don't have a bad thing to say about anybody over there. I truly don't. I enjoyed the 8.5 years I was there. I made lifelong friendships and gained a wealth of knowledge from them, and I don't regret a single second of it. It was time for me to go, and I went, enjoyed every bit of it, appreciate everything they ever done for me, but I'm here and I'm glad I'm here.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
thanks, Sam.
Now you gonna have
I
to.
already got the Jackson Street.
All right, Wes, do you have anything on the agenda amendments or anything?
Yeah, we had a couple of tweaks. The investment policy resolution has been changed to an ordinance, since we want the policy to last right on the legislative term. If you guys decide that you would like to kind of revisit at every legislative term, then it can be left as a resolution. The budget has been changed to a resolution, since we're not touching budget, the salary part of the budget. And then with the economic development appointments, since it's a codified ordinance, we just changed the reference to the ordinance number 111011 to the specific chapter in the code book. Other than that, no amendments, and then I just wanted to make a note. Staff recommends that Steve's project manager update, we just kind of seg into 7A because they kind of go together. So that will naturally lead from the discussion into the agenda item. And then staff also recommends that we take item 8A and 8B together, because if you don't want to do one of those things, it essentially kills the other thing. Other than that, nothing else to really mention.
All right, well, if I get off track on any of those, let me know, keep me on track.
Yeah.
JD, I met the young gentleman right there yesterday, just the blonde hair, just keep an eye on him. He's kind of a little scoundrel.
Anybody post it yet?
Not yet, just keep an eye, make sure he doesn't go roaming around City Hall. Might be problematic.
Mayor, he's here hoping to gain a little bit of homeschool time observing city government.
Yes, ma'am, I figured so, but I couldn't miss an opportunity to do
I don't think he
embarrassing.
knows to take you serious or.
written.
We did review the agenda again before we came. so.
All right,
The boy,
yeah, I like
like I
it.
said, handcuffs, so he usually pulls the taser out, so.
Hey, just for laughs.
All right. Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at the consent agenda? Is there any questions, comments, concerns?
Make a motion that we accept the agenda as amended.
Perfect. Anything go right on it? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get ahead of you, Barbara.
Who was the second? Okay, I have a first and a second. Alder Wheeler.
Yes.
Alder Hill.
Yes.
Alder Keen. Alder Lancaster.
Yes.
Alder Matheson.
Yes.
Alder Wilson.
All right, now the consent agenda.
Oh, okay. Do I have a first and a second for these?
Haven't gotten one yet, but we were almost there.
I'll make a motion that
There's
we
no
approve
question.
the consent agenda as written.
I'll second. All right, I have a first and a second for consent agenda. I believe Holly said I can do these with ayes or nays, so I'm going to try that. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Thank you.
All right, section 4, citizens input. If there's anybody out in the gallery that would like to step forward, give a comment, concerns, opinions, feel free to step forward.
April, I'll come
You have anything you want to say?
Think you scared him off.
All right, seeing none, we'll close that section. Item number 5, proclamations. Arbor Day, is that gonna be you, Jason, or is that?
I would like to ask the mayor to read a proclamation declaring October 28th as the Arbor Day celebration, or I'm sorry, October 30th as the official Arbor Day for the city of Willard.
And you would like me to read that?
Well, yes, please.
The whole thing?
You can read what you feel is appropriate.
So we're changing the day.
So what's the fourth?
It says the 4th, which was last week.
It should be October 30th.
I will change that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
All right, whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton, is this the correct one?
That's the correct one.
All right. Proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting of trees, and whereas the holiday Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska and is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut, heating, and calling costs. I have to fix that, cooling. Moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable source of giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products, and whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community, and whereas trees wherever they are planted are a source of joy and spiritual renewal, and whereas the city of Willard has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue in tree planting practices. Now therefore, I, Troy Smith, Mayor of Willard, do hereby proclaim October, what's the right day?
30th.
October 30th, 2025 is Arbor Day in the city of Willard, and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. And witness whereof I hereunto set my hand to cause the seal of the city of Willard be affixed this 13th day of October in the year 2025. Wow.
You had to get it under 5 minutes.
The Admiral Reader's Digest version.
Arbor Day is good, plant a tree.
Yes. Alright. Steve, project manager update.
Well, with regards to the 2 sanitary sewer projects we've been working on for a considerable period of time, we're kind of a milestone status now. First of all, I'll go through my report that I wrote middle of last week. One regarding what we call a community funding partnership. Now that is the congressionally earmarked, administered through the EPA, to upgrade the 94 lift station and replace the force main from 94 lift station all the way to the city of Springfield, about 18,000 feet. We bid that job out, opened bids on September 17. Young's General Contracting is the low bidder with a base bid of $4,866,635. And that was for using high-density polyethylene pipe. There were two ways to bid this job. One with ductile iron pipe, one with high-density polyethylene. I'll get into the differences as we get further in the session here. Oliver Martin reviewed and discussed with Young's bid certifications and compliance with federal regulations. I have submitted paperwork to Region 7 of the EPA for review of Young's bid and our bid advertisement and bid documents. The cost review and financing requirements are going to be addressed after this little piece here. BOA provisional approval. Once all documents are in place and satisfactory, provisional approval by the Board of Aldermen will be requested prior to formal submission to the US EPA for approval. That is also addressed a little further on here in the next item on the agenda. Now, more or less concurrent with this is the Meadows connection to the city of Springfield. That job encompasses diverting all sewage away from the lagoons of the meadows, constructing a little over a mile of gravity trunk main to the airport lift station connection for the city of Springfield. Project's ready to bid. The current cost estimate has been prepared, and we'll talk about financing and cost review here on the next section of the agenda. Now, both projects, all easements are in place, temporary and permanent, for both jobs. The only exception is the Fresco Trails mini storage, which would refuse to grant us an easement. Bart Williams. Bart.
Yep.
So we have no problem. We have plenty of MoDOT right-of-way corridor in that area. We'll stay on the right-of-way and stay off of him.
Okay.
Otherwise, all other grantors of easements are on board with the project and don't have any concerns. And we'll keep them notified as things progress. So that's the update report. And Mayor, if you want to go to the next item, we'll get into the resolution.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you've got before you in your packet resolution 25-44. Before we get into that detail, it is backed up to the memorandum from me dated today by the Community Funding Partnership Lift Station Force Main. As I described, this project's about 18,000 feet of 18-inch force main from 94 the connection with Springfield. It's going to replace a 10-inch ductile iron force main that has been in the ground since 1985. And there are some areas towards Springfield where we've had hydrogen sulfide accumulation that I can take a 12-inch crescent wrench and split the pipe like a can opener. So it's time. It's had its life. The project will upgrade the pumping capacity of lift station 94. This will provide an increase in capacity between Willard and Springfield. Currently, we're at maximum capacity to deliver sewage effluent to Springfield from 94 lift station. Addition of new developments would exceed capacity and basically therefore could not be allowed. This project provides for growth in the city of Willard for the next 20 years. On the contract, Young's Contracting's low bidder of $4,866,635 using high-density polyethylene pipe. Now, they bid some alternates such as surge tanks, an upgrade in generator capacity, etc. To keep the cost of the project down, we are not pursuing any of the alternates. This gets us aligned, what we need, no bells and whistles at this point. You can come back later and finance them, maybe able to catch it up later out of contingency, maybe be able to do some horse trading with a contractor for some elimination of costs, and credit that toward a bell and whistle if you so desire. Probably the only bell and whistle we're looking at that's really got a priority to it is upsizing the emergency backup generator. Where we're at now, the generator in place with the upgrade of the pumps will run one of 3 pumps. You'd like to, but you don't have to today, be in a position to run 2 of the 3 pumps. That's for growth down the road. Now, time of the essence in this case is kind of facing us. The bid documents require the contractor to guarantee his pricing for 60 days following bid opening. That 60 days comes November 16th. Now, that pricing guarantee may be extended by mutual agreement, that's in the language. However, it's unlikely from a bidder who may believe that he's underbid the project to want to extend that and would walk. So we've got a timing issue. Costs. Following installation of approximately 4,000 foot of 14-inch PVC from lift station 94 towards the city of Springfield. That's basically from the lift station down the right of way of Highway 160 and going under 160 where the trail goes under 160. That was all put in new because that was the connection from the new lift station built back in 18, and then in 18 that 4,000 foot was put in. This is the stretch we had failure problems with, about 15 of them. And where we got on cost, Randy Brown spearheaded an application for this community partnership funding to Congressman Billy Long's office in April of 22. We were in the middle of the failure point. We needed to upgrade that line all the way to Springfield. The cost estimates in that submission were based on Auger Martin's wastewater engineering report, revised of its January of 22. Verbal confirmation award is a congressional earmark. Administered by the way, is a typo, that's not P-U-S-E-P-A, it's U-S-E-P-A, was received in March of 23. I was the interim administrator at that time. Got a call from the EPA. I thought, golly, what do you want? Guy says, I'm not from enforcement. I said, that's good, let's have a chat. So he advised me of this earmark. I had no idea that it had even been requested, had no idea what it covered. I went to, no one here had an idea. I went to Congressman Burleson's office at that time because Long had not run for re-election. They knew nothing. So I had to find Long's chief of staff's name and search emails between City of Willard and Long's office to actually get my hands on what the earmark covered. So the earmark award was based on $3,722,900. This was $2,978,320 from the EPA, and a match of $744,580 from the City of Willard. The award from the EPA is fixed, and any additional cost would be borne by the City of Willard. Now, grant application cost, which means the engineering side of this application, which was not submitted to Long's office, you get that after notice of award, or tentative award, They weren't, in the budget, but we got reimbursement on them. We received pre-award reimbursement for the installation of variable frequency drives, which were not in the original budget. Now, at the time, with the Trump administration, we didn't know what was going to happen with earmarks. And we went through some times where that was frozen, and we sure didn't know. But early on, we suspected there might be a hiccup or two, so anything we could apply and get reimbursement on, we wanted it. We wanted cash in hand. Rather than hold it and wait for, oh, we're gonna negate all this stuff, or part of it, or whatever. Now, that freezing of the funds in the Trump administration has been relaxed. We have made application for reimbursement for engineering costs since the freeze issue and the thawing of that freeze issue, and they have paid us our share back. Carolyn's received it through the receiving system we have known as ASAP. So that's kind of the situation there. Now, with our experience of our failure in PVC pipe, because as this thing is going through all the applications along, there's been failures, and then failures continue and continue and continue. We decided to go with either ductile iron or high-density polyethylene. Now, the difference is, the failures we had from at 4,000 feet, from 94 going towards Springfield, were PVC pipe with bell and spigot connections. And when you put those together, there's a line on the spigot. You push it so far and no further. You should be doing this with what's called a pipe joining tool, where you can control it. The contractor basically used an excavator bucket and a 2x8 and pushes the pipe together. Now, in some cases, there's documentation that mark was met. The problem was the previous joint that had been coupled and backfilled, you couldn't see, because what was happening is they tried to make up this joint, this other joint was pushed and bottomed out, or the term overbelled. That was one after another, right up through that system. When the pipe was overbelled, the cycling of the lift station pumps on and off, which they do, you get surge set up. And finally that overbelled pipe, because the spigot's sitting in the bottom of it and there's no movement, finally says, I quit. And the side blows out of it. And therefore we had the little geysers of eruptions. Some weren't too bad to fix. Some took 3 days. Some took $90,000 worth of vacuum trucks just to put sewage on wheels to get it out of the lagoons so we didn't put it in the ditch. So the emphasis then was, okay, forget bell and spigot. We either want to go with ductile iron, which will not overbell and bust, or we'll go with high-density polyethylene, which is a black plastic material, and you fuse it. It's called fusion welding. You take a joint, you put it in the machine, you square the ends, you separate it, you put in a high-capacity heating element, squeeze the 2 ends against the heating element, get it hot, pull it apart, take the heating element out, and hydraulically push it together. So you get a welding of the 2 materials together. You inspect it then, and of course we have testing criteria in our plans and specifications to make sure we don't have any leaks. But the idea being that this material has enough flexibility, doesn't have bell and spigot, has a more substantial wall, and turned out to be less priced than ductile iron, which is a benefit because when you pump sewage, you develop hydrogen sulfide in the sewage. That's a product of the degradation of sewage. And on high spots where you hit atmospheric air, H2S plus O2 makes H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid. You eat your pipe. And that's why you have pipe failures. So the high-density polyethylene is inert to sulfuric acid attack.
So does it have a lower failure rate?
Pardon?
Does it have a lower failure rate?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes,
Considerable.
Okay.
yeah, considerable. Now, just to kind of put it in perspective, a lot of polyethylene pipe is ran in this part of the country. Not a lot of 18-inch, but a lot of 6, 4, 2. You see the orange stuff they pull through the ground for fiber. If you see yellow pipe sitting on the ground in straight sticks, that's either city utilities or Spire welding that together for natural gas distribution. The oil fields have used it for years for oil production, saltwater disposal, etc. It's tough stuff. And it didn't come off, the shelf yesterday. Phillips Petroleum Company invented this under the name of Driscoll pipe, probably in the 1970s. And it was really oil field applications. Then once they start looking for other things, well then natural gas, sewage, some water, and then the whole telecommunication thing, that's just basically to get a conduit to pull fiber optic in. So with all that, our local match has increased from $744,000 to $2,766,469. Even though our match has increased because of these additions and changes, this is still a 51% funded grant. You're laying 49 cents on the table and taking $1 back. It'd be sweet if it was still 80-20, but it's not. But that's still, to get 50% reimbursement with all the protection built in, with the increase in capacities, longevity of the pipe, lower failure rate, this is a good investment, and it's necessary. Because if you don't increase that line size and increase that pumping capacity in 94, Mike's got to turn everybody down. So, well, we can't have it.
Nothing else goes, yeah.
And that includes dreams about the B basin going to it or anything. You can't do that. Now, the Meadows is a separate situation. It does not go through lift station 94. But right now, it's going to a couple of clay ponds called lagoons. On provisional approval, the EPA required provisional approval of the construction contract and a demonstration of Willard's ability to fund the remaining local match. The original intent was to utilize cash reserves, proceeds from the Hamilton and Dad lawsuit settlement, and certificates of participation financing to provide a remaining local match. Now, to provide the $2,766,000, you can see it outlined below there. Hamilton and Dad settlement after we paid legal fees was $608,200. We've got set aside $58,269 in cash. And then we're looking for $2.1 million in COP financing. Carol and I had discussions with Piper last week regarding financing. They're favorable to the issuance of COPs, but they're unable to meet the deadline of November 16 to finalize the terms of the construction contract. This time for Piper involves descriptive information of the city, getting a bond rating, legal documents prepared by bond counsel, and the offering and the sale of the COPs. So we got a time problem. Can't do it quick enough. To keep everything valid with the contractor's price.
If
I
you're,
recommended short-term bank financing up to a year to satisfy the local matching fund requirements within our time constraints. Now, here's where you get some logistics that can work in our favor. The resolution proposal is going to be seek 2.1 short-term bank finance, no more than a year. And the verbal rate that Piper and Carolyn and I discussed for that was in the neighborhood of 3%. COP financing, believe it or not, is in the neighborhood of 5%. And you say, well, what's the difference? Well, short-term bank financing has a limited time risk to it. The 20-year COP has a time risk to it. That's why the interest rate's a little higher. But you can't borrow bank money for over a year in term, because that runs afoul of several statutes. So this is a short-term fix and then come back with a long-term COP. The other thing about the COP is this short-term bank financing. We do short-term bank financing, get that on board, get EPA satisfied, get approval, all within the time by November 16th. We're good to go on and run with this. This gives us time to bid the Meadows gravity trunk line, which is ready to go. But we haven't, board's given authority to bid it, we haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. If the bids for the Meadows are favorable, the city, at your discretion, can issue COPs to pay off the short-term loan, or issue COPs to pay off the short-term loan and finance the Gravity Meadows trunk system. So you got a little decision point, and we don't know the answer to all this until we have a bid opening and slice the envelopes open and start tabulating bids to see what our numbers are. The Hamilton Dad settlement funds and cash reserves are available, and the Willard budget can accommodate the interest of short-term financing and the subsequent principal and interest of COP for 2.1 million. It's recommended to proceed with short-term bank financing such that the lift station and Fort Wayne project can move forward. Now, there's a resolution attached giving provisional approval that gives Wes, Carolyn, the authority to reach out and get the wheels rolling on all of this. Other attachments that I've included is my project budget, which has got the grid lines on it, and Alger Martin's budget. We both come to the bottom line of needing to finance 2.1 million. But you may ask, well, my format is not the same as Alger Martin's. Alger Martin's format is from an overall project perspective, the whole big picture, because they're the engineers engaged in that. Mine is from a how much cash do we need to finish this perspective, and where's it coming from? And what have we been reimbursed so far? And then where's the limits to that reimbursement? But the bottom line on both is need 2.1 million. So before I get into the resolution, does anyone have any questions? I'll attempt to answer.
Nobody knows how long the government shutdown is going to occur. Could that possibly have any negative effect when it comes to trying to recoup some of our money?
I don't believe that it will. The shutdown is more based on functions. Now, I'll say this, if you were to apply for reimbursement today, yeah, it's probably gonna wait till the shutdown's over.
This is already
And,
in process.
You know, pardon?
This is already all in the works and in process.
It's all in the
So-
works, all approved. Now, to answer your question, Troy, the shutdown today, and who knows how long it'll last, hopefully not as bad as last time. But let's say it goes 30 days. Yeah, you won't get a response for them to move forward to do anything for 30 days. Because they're all on furlough. But as Casey brings up, the program is there, the money is funded, it's slotted. It's a matter of when does Carolyn get the wire, I'll call it wire transfer, it's a little different than that, but it's basically what it is. When does she get the wire transfer to put the money back in our account?
And the bank is ready to move forward?
We would go with Piper and let Piper talk to a few select banks. What you're looking for is a bank that, has got the need to do some short-term loaning. We can ask, and I will ask him to approach the banks that do business in Willard, at least give them an opportunity at it. But that's part of Piper's job, is to go out and find a bank willing to do that, hopefully more than one, but see, compare the basis points between interest rates and stuff like that. So there's not been a bank approach, not been anything secured, because we need the resolution of the board, this is the direction we want to go, and the resolution authorizes the staff to make this happen.
Okay.
To bring it back to you for full approval from a contractual basis for incurring a debt.
And that can be done in the remaining 30 days.
Yes.
And then you'll go for the COP.
Pardon?
Then you'll go into the COP
Yes,
once
and
everything's
then
up and rolling.
we can open the bids at Meadows, come back and have a discussion here. Okay, which way you wanna go? And if we do a combination COP, Piper will provide us the debt service details. And Carolyn and I have already talked, she's got some preliminary numbers plugged in on what I think and hope it's gonna be. You don't know until you open it, the bids. But, she's looking at a couple alternatives there. Not speaking out of turn, you are for both the combination
Yes.
and then a single COP. So we'll have that information, we will come back to you, to get authorization of the board, to enter into these agreements and authorize mayor to sign it and move forward.
So then our first step is really to move forward with we're looking for a resolution to move forward, correct?
Yeah, the resolution, need it, basically
To
give
get
Carolyn,
the ball
Bass, and
rolling, to
everybody
move to
the
the
authority
next.
to wheel and
Okay.
deal and bring back the finished product.
Okay, well then I'm gonna make a motion that we move forward with the resolution as written.
And I'll second that.
Shall I read that resolution?
Do we need to read it? Okay.
That might help.
Let me ask one question before you read it.
Okay.
Is it built into the bid or in subsequent contracts regarding protections for overages of the bid? So we're saying 2.1 million. Where is it built in that we have protected if they go 20% over?
They have to guarantee their bid pricing for everything that is described in the bid documents.
That's why he wants to hurry and nail them to it.
Yeah, because it's currently
Guaranteed.
guaranteed at that price.
Now,
But if they run into overages, they run into whatever.
there can be cases where you run into something physical in nature that you hadn't counted on,
A sinkhole, a gas bubble, whatever.
whatever. We have a $250,000 contingency in that budget calculations for that.
It's our money?
It's our money.
Okay.
Now, it goes into the bottom line, and in effect goes in to that need to finance 2.1. But in that attachments, and let's say you look at, let me find Tom's here.
So in regards to that also, during the bid process, a lot of these companies did their due diligence before. They came out and core drilled the length of the project, looking for rock outcroppings and any other things that might come up, so they were aware of things before they put the bid in, so.
And you won't get a surprise bill either. Usually projects of this nature, you'll get a change order that come before the board and be considered and approved. So it won't be, oh, guess what, your project's now
We went
6
over
million.
that, yeah.
You're gonna know along the way that, hey, we've encountered this is our request for requesting the change order, and this is how much we're
Well,
requesting.
Wes is right, this won't, if an issue is encountered, it won't be, oh, by the way, the city owes me an additional amount of money. That's gotta be negotiated and dealt with through change orders. And that's in the bid documents and the plans and specs.
And then just as a little contextual, that, you know, big picture, the public had asked for growth, and they said, well, it's not growing, well, it's not doing anything, you guys never do anything, so this does give Willard an avenue to grow. The engineers have said this is the critical first step into allowing some growth in the north side. And then I'm working with lobbyists to try and get B to 94 connected, which then creates the growth. There are other chances for favorable outcomes. I have a meeting with DNR on November the 4th, really specifically for B to 94, but if they have a favorable financing option, usually the revolving loan funds are running about 2.5% to 3%, so potentially there might be a funding avenue that's less than a COP route. COP is generally more expensive. Usually you got bonds are your cheapest, then you got the kind of subsidized loans from state agencies. COPs tend to be a little bit higher. They're easier. They don't require going to the voters and things like that, but it does have that additional lending cost. So I mean, there's opportunities there. We've also got built into this resolution. If the numbers all come in and you guys go, I don't think we like this, you could still back out of it at that point. So there's still a little safety net built in. However, the one critical thing I think we need to keep in mind here is this line will fail. And if it fails when we don't have 51% of it covered, instead of coming up with 2.1 million in financing, you're gonna have to come up with the whole kit and caboodle. And it's only gonna get more expensive, as we're seeing. So just things to keep in mind on the context side as you consider this item.
Troy, if you look at page 44, the contingency for increase is built into the budget.
Yeah, we need that in a little bigger font next time.
That's why I turned it sideways. No, I turned it sideways, so it's easier to
Do
read.
like this and it'll make it bigger.
I had to turn mine sideways, it makes it a whole lot easier.
In an ideal world, what you would see is probably two options down the road. Ideal, we won't need it. What I would probably recommend to you then is either consider just put it back in the pot and life is good, or getting the generator that system needs, and then you can take that generator that's out there and move it over to another lift station when they need one. So if we can stay within budget, there's some opportunities for other improvements that maybe are kind of pushing to the side at the moment, skipping the alternatives. Like Steve said, we've kind of stripped this down to make sure it's just what we need, nothing more, nothing less. But if other opportunities come up, that would be great too. Who knows, I did a pretty big project back before I came here, and it actually came in under budget, so you never know. once they start getting in the ground and seeing how things are. Just like they can add a change order to go up, you can see a change order to bring it down. So, that's where the horse trading can come in, as Steve mentioned, so. We just need a number, we need the authority to proceed, and then we can deliver a package for final consideration on the financing side.
Rebecca.
A resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Willard, Missouri, granting provisional approval of the construction contract with Young's General Contracting for the Lift Station 94 to Springfield Sewer Upgrade Project, contingent upon securing adequate and affordable funding and cash reserves. Could you remind me who gave me that first?
Casey.
Okay, and who was the second?
I am.
Jerry.
Thank you. I have a first and a second. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder Keane?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you. And the resolution passed.
Mr. Mayor, I'll give it Carolyn in the morning, we'll make contact with Piper and start the ball rolling on this.
Yes, sir, thank you.
That's what.
7B Bravo.
A resolution by the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to sign the appropriate documents to accept the Missouri Blue Shield grant.
It should be nice light lifting for a little bit now. So this is just some forms necessary to be signed so we get the funds from the Blue Shield grant program. As a reminder, we're using those funds to pay for the vault system that's going in, so upon receipt we'll be able to offset that. Other than that, no, nothing fancy on this one. Just authorizing the mayor to sign documents.
Make a motion to accept the resolution as read.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Alder Billiard? Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder Keane?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you. The resolution is passed.
You see?
A resolution by the Board of Alders appointing members to the City of Willard Economic Development Task Force.
So we got all our applications received by the end of last month. These are the appointments that have been recommended based on those applications. They're also attached for consideration. The chamber quickly filled their spots. We have one member of the committee is the chamber president, and then two were appointed by the chamber. And then I think Rachel was.
It was not me, I'm on the park board.
It's worth a shot.
Wait a minute. Two pieces of sign.
It was one of those.
But in seriousness, so Casey is on there, I'm on there, and then you've got your 4 appointments with a recommended term in the resolution. With your approval, I'll get something scheduled as quickly as possible. So I can try and have some conversations with these folks before budget time, see if we can get anything moving there. So that's really all I have on that one. Oh, and as a reminder, we did change that little terminology from ordinance 111.011 to the specific code reference in the ordinance, or code of ordinances.
You need a motion on that?
Yes, please.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the resolution as read. Second.
I have a first and a second. Alder Billiard?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder Keane?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution is passed. Mayor. A resolution by the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, declaring certain utility equipment as surplus property and authorizing their disposal.
I think Jason's cleaned out another closet and found some more stuff that he can't use. It has, I believe, just scrap value on one thing and
Yes.
maybe some residual value on the other.
So we have a antiquated and unidentifiable piece of brush hogging equipment. The labels have worn off, the deck has rusted out and has been abused many times. The PTO shaft is warped and will not, so we'll need a new PTO, new gearbox to even start it, to see if it will operate, and at that point we'll need to do some significant welding to make the frame stable enough to feel safe using it. So recommend surplusing that. We can put it up for auction, or we could try to sell it for its scrap value. I think it's a 50-50 toss-up as to which will net us more. The other is a piece of equipment, Cub Cadet Big Cub, that the Public Works Department retired 10 years ago, and the Parks Department replaced a couple of wheel bearings and took it over and has limped it along for the subsequent amount of time. It has some engine issues, some blow-by, and some leaking fluids, and the transmission requires a manual gear shift from underneath to change from forward to reverse. And I recommend putting that up for auction for its part value. Neither of these are currently in use. One has been sitting in the tree line at soccer, and one has been rusting in the equipment cage under the downtown water tower. Went to grab it and use it and discovered it was not usable anymore. So that is what prompted the recommendation for surplus. So.
We'll make a motion to accept the resolution as read.
I second that. I have a first and a second. Alder Bailey?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you. That resolution has passed. A resolution by the Board of Alders, an ordinance by the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, adopting a formal investment policy.
This is a model policy that's in use around the state. We got this from the State Treasurer's Office as part of the process of moving to invest in some of the city's idle funds instead of just leaving them in the bank. The bank representative recommended this one to us as something that's used. We found it in use in other communities as well. So we're seeking the board's approval to use this as this city's investment policy, bringing us kind of up to date. It stipulates authorized individuals, procedures. Prior policy was from 2009. So we figure if it's working for everybody else and it's highly recommended, we should probably try and do the same thing. With this approval, we'll begin working with Commerce to start investing idle funds in CDs and other state-approved instruments.
Any questions? I'll make a motion, we approve the ordinance by the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, adopting a formal investment policy.
Second.
All right, do I need to read that a second time?
Yeah.
An ordinance by the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, adopting a formal investment policy.
Make a motion that we approve it.
I'll second.
All right. I have a first and a second. Okay, I
I'll
probably should have.
Go back and
I
get
sh-
vote
I
for
need
the
to get
first
the vote
one
for
and
the
then get
first
vote for
one.
the second.
Okay, so for that first one, Alder Bailey?
You do the all in
Yes.
favor.
For this one, I think I need a roll.
For the second one, you definitely need a roll call,
Ah.
but I have a city that just reads them twice in a row.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not normally common because there's a discussion in between, but you can do like a IMA on the first read, but I would pass them the way that you normally pass them.
Okay,
So
okay.
you normally do roll call on the first, I would go ahead and.
Okay, let's do that really quickly then. Alder Bailey?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson?
Yes.
Thank you. That first read has passed. Alder Bailey?
Yes.
Alder Hill?
Yes.
Alder King?
Yes.
Alder Lancaster?
Yes.
Alder Matheson?
Yes.
Alder Wilson? The
Yes.
second read has passed, Mayor. A resolution of the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, adopting an amendment to the 2025 budget.
So as a reminder, this one was changed to a resolution instead of an ordinance, since we're not dealing with salary in this amendment. And then also as a reminder, I recommend you consider this together with B, though obviously we'll have to handle them separately. If you don't want to do one or the other, it will effectively kill the other. So the first amendment is one to allow us to proceed with the sidewalks. Jackson Street, we've done all the dirt work down there, and it's at the point of getting the sidewalks put in. The engineers originally estimated just a little over $253,000 for the work. After the work that the city put in, they reduced their estimate to $213,000. The lowest and best bid came in at $187,000. So we got a pretty good price on there. It's with AT Urban. We were unsuccessful in our first round of soliciting bids, but the second round put it out in, I think, the Springfield Contractors Association. Got three good bids, three very good bids. So we're recommending, based on the engineer's guidance, that we go with AT Urban if the board does wish to proceed. It will require an amendment to the budget, which is where we're at with this particular piece. We're operating on a small surplus. Just to be safe, I recommend taking the money out of our reserve fund, putting it into general as an offset to allow this to proceed. If you don't want to do that, and effectively we can't really do the other piece, which would be the sidewalks. But with your approval on this item, we'll amend the budget, and then with your approval on the next item, we'll approve the bid.
Oh, in regards to the total, the bid came back at $187,835, but the board did approve an incentive of $10,000, so the final total would be $197,000.
Potentially.
With
It'll be a-
potential.
If they hit the December 1st deadline.
Right.
And we also have a sliding scale on that, so the closer they get,
It's reduced.
yeah.
Where we did all the work, in the ditch and everything, and put in the new lines and everything, when we put in the sidewalk, like the areas where there's gravel right now, have there been any discussions with the owner of the shopping complex about, I guess, paving or asphalting that whole area to get rid of the gravel? Or?
So in regards to that, we actually shortened up the approaches to 26 feet because they were 55. So we shortened up the approaches to 30 feet, and then the actual concrete is gonna be 26 feet of that. So there's gonna be a lot less exposed, and more usable space going through there. And we did that to, number one, get rid of some of that excess space, and number two, slow the traffic down so it's not a NASCAR race when you're coming off Jackson into the parking lot.
You made it harder on me.
I didn't want to publicly bring that up, but now that you are, I have no problem with it.
Are you going a little fast there, Jeremy?
Yeah.
More difficult with a trailer on.
So yeah, the city's gonna be doing the cleanup and everything like that on the project, trying to keep costs down. But that was some of the reasons why we wanted to come in and work on the approaches and do the stuff that we could do to shorten those up and get rid of some of that. But everything from the sidewalk back to the street's gonna be concrete. So it's gonna wear a lot better, it's gonna weather a lot better, and we don't have to really maintain it after that, so. But obviously, you all are free to walk the project and everything like that if it gets approved, and evaluate where we wanna go, and if we need to improve some things on it and stuff,
I think it'd be, I don't want to speak for the chamber, but I think that whole area right there would be a great project for some type of beautification efforts.
I've had a lot of inquiries on, there's some lots over there that are gonna be directly affected by this, but I've had some inquiries on what we're gonna allow there, so.
That's all I have.
We would need a motion on the resolution
I'll
to
make a
amend the budget.
motion that we approve the ordinance.
Resolution.
Or, sorry, resolution, adjusting, or adopting the amendment to the 2025 budget.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Alder Gilliard.
Yes.
Alder Hill.
Yes.
Alder Keane.
Yes.
Alder Lancaster.
Yes.
Alder Matheson.
Yes.
Alder Wilson.
Yeah.
The resolution has passed. Thank you. An ordinance of the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with AT Urban for the construction of sidewalks along Jackson Street.
As already covered, that came in as low as the best. Props to Public Works Department. The engineer estimated that they saved the city about $30,000 to $40,000 on the work that they did for the project. So, of course, there's some material costs in there too, but still substantial savings. We're coming in about $80,000 under the engineer's original estimate. So, pretty good.
That also does not include the water line upgrade that they did to upsize the water line coming into Pershing. Yeah, they upsized the water line going through the the sidewalk area so they wouldn't have to disturb it ever again, so.
Well, and they did a little bit of work with the water flow as well from rain. I noticed the other day as it was coming down pretty heavy and I drove down Jackson, there was not pooling on Jackson like there has been in the past.
Yeah, we got a nice recommendation from an alderman to fix that.
It was very nice.
And
It's a good foundational piece as well. The engineers have tried to figure out the additional flow from impermeable surfaces if we add the parking, so
Yeah.
it's good that it's working.
And
So if we put in parking, it will create an additional flow.
Public Works did work with the post office to get the mailboxes moved off of Jackson Street to a private location so the mail person doesn't have
Doesn't
to
have to stop.
sit on Jackson.
That's
So,
good too.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve the ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with AT Urban for construction of sidewalks along Jackson.
I second. All right, I'll take Rachel's. This is a first read. Alder Billiard,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder King,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster, Alder Matheson,
Yes.
Alder Wilson. All right, let me read that again. An ordinance of the Board of Alders of the City of Willard, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with AT Urban for the construction of sidewalks along Jackson Street.
Make a motion to approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second. Alder Billiard,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder King,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster,
Yes.
Alder Matheson,
Yes.
Alder Wilson.
Yes.
That ordinance is passed. Thank you. An ordinance of the Board of Alders extending the agreement with Alder Martin and Associates, Inc., and authorizing the mayor to execute all necessary documents on behalf of the City of Willard, Missouri.
This is a 3-year renewal of term with Alger Martin, which will begin January 1. The current agreement runs through December 31. They've been working with the city for quite some time. They have considerable knowledge about Willard's sewer infrastructure. I think it would be unwise to allow it to expire and go with anybody else at this point, especially with all the work coming up. So with your approval, I think extending the on-call status for another 3-year term is well worth it.
Everything's been working.
They're great to work with. Yeah, they're great to work with. They're very knowledgeable. Mac, I think, was involved in Willard's original sewer layouts. I mean, they have knowledge extending beyond their direct work with the city, which I think we'd be foolish to allow that to run out.
Try something else,
Yeah, I mean, not to say nobody else could offer something beneficial, but why change what's working, especially with that institutional knowledge they bring to us.
I'll make a motion to accept the ordinance as read.
Second.
I have a first and a second on the first read. Alder Billiard,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder King,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster, Alder Matheson,
Yes.
Alder Wilson. The first read is passed. An ordinance of the Board of Alders extending the agreement with Alder Martin and Associates, Inc., and authorizing the mayor to execute all necessary documents on behalf of the City of Willard, Missouri.
I make a motion to approve as read, the ordinance as read.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Alder Billiard,
Yes.
Alder Hill,
Yes.
Alder Keen,
Yes.
Alder Lancaster, Alder Matheson,
Yes.
Alder Wilson.
Yes.
The ordinance is passed.
All right. Section 9, city administrator remarks.
And just 'cause it's been a while doesn't mean you have to be lengthy.
See, I was gonna crack wise, but you beat me to it. What's this 10-minute meeting you all had while I was gone? What's up with that?
just efficiency.
Yeah, it's the way the mice will play.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that's what I heard.
It was my fault. I had a football game to get to.
That's okay, that's okay. I just packed up the agenda when I got back. It's fine. First thing, you'll see I've got some financial statements in front of you. There's no action needed, it's just FYI. I take the data from our financial software and kind of pile it into something I think is a bit more informative and simple. But just in case you want some light reading at bedtime, I've also attached all the numbers on the back. That's through September the 30th, all the expenses, incomes, it's detailed. And then, like I said, I shoehorn that into something simple. So we'll put that on the city website. I would have had a financial scorecard, but apparently my spreadsheet is still on vacation. Did not want to cooperate. But numbers are essentially similar, the surpluses. And I do want to point out, Jason, if you look at the deficit on park this year, it's considerably less than it was last year, and I think they're on track for a good year. So, props, Jason, keep it up, almost there, just 2 more months. There are liquor by the drink retail hours that have been extended for the World Cup, which allows 24 hours of serving alcohol, and that new legislation went into effect on August the 28th. Yes, you heard me right, that allows 24-hour sale and service of liquor by the drink at retail. So we have to opt out of that if you want to. So do you want to? And then we'll bring it to you next time.
Say that one more time, Walter.
So basically,
Is there
during
like
the
a
World Cup,
time frame of that?
so between 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. the next day, so 24 hours.
So it's just
It's
one
just
day?
No, it's just, it's
Just
for
during the
like
World
a-
Cup.
Yeah, just during the World Cup.
Okay.
So if you want to allow it during the World Cup, it will just naturally go away when it's finished.
Well, so is that something that our 3 establishments, well, 4 establishments in this area would want to participate in, is another
Right.
question.
It's a great question. I'm throwing it out there because it will require you guys to specifically opt out. So if you're getting public sentiment strongly one way or the other,
I mean,
that
because
would be
I don't
you
see
let-
any of our places staying open 24 hours here, so
they may not, we may not have enough business, but.
It might be kind of a moot point, you know?
Aren't even gonna know that.
Should they, what issue does it cause for the department?
well, there's that, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We're the fun department.
The on-duty will patrol it, and the on-duty will patrol, and the off-duty will be there, so.
That's right.
They're
This is one of those glorious moments I get to tell you guys, I am here to administer the policy as established by the board, so if you want to opt out, please let me know, I'll draw
I
out
don't
something.
see a reason to opt
If
out.
I don't see a
we'll
reason
just
to
leave
opt
it
out,
there.
I don't see any of, I mean, the places that we have in town don't generally adjust their hours dramatically for any other event, I mean,
But if the businesses in town knew
yeah, that's
that they
nice.
had a window, they might adjust their.
Uncle
But
Jeb's
for the
already gonna
Super
have
Bowl,
his
they
case
don't.
ready for the game anyway. He's not gonna need to go get another case at 1 a.m. He's
And
already
should-
gonna have it if he's that
That's-
excited about
that's
soccer.
That's exactly it.
I will say the owners of the tap room may take advantage because
They could have like a
Neil
midnight
is,
run or something.
Neil is a
English,
soccer,
yeah.
a soccer head.
Good, more tax dollars.
And good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so.
Troy, it's only
they
gonna
may.
disturb you, so.
Mm.
If a business can
Won't be as bad as the
benefit
place
from it,
behind me, trust me.
yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to raise it, if anything changes,
Oh.
you know where I
Well,
was.
I usually come midnight and sit outside.
No, nowhere to
drink
watch the
smokes,
games.
and that was a wonderful.
You know where I'll be if there.
Is that you?
Manchester United.
I don't know how that place ever got approved.
I'll throw it in.
that
Anyway,
was before our time.
anyway, that's another subject, anyway.
All right, on to the next one. Unless any of you have a strong feeling for beginning 2026, I'd like to adjust the department heads to quarterly instead of monthly. Seems like a bit routine. So maybe that'd be a good way to point out the differences. The way I used to do it was the department heads would come in and present the highlights, and so that would give you an opportunity to ask questions as well if you wanted to do that. I just felt like the monthly thing is kind of routine. The Will W, we've been trying to look for a way to kind of enhance the unity. We talked about unity with the rates. So we talked to the school and they've agreed to let us use their Will W. So some may not be happy, some may be, but I think it's a good way to integrate the community. We won't use it exactly as they use it,
I think
but
that's
likely we'll
excellent.
take the Flying W and find a way to integrate it. But it's clear this is the city's use versus the school's use. We see the W's around Springfield, so it'd be a nice way to kind of show our pride. And then in the spirit of unity, before I left for vacation, we talked to the water board about a roundup program. You see it on a gas bell roundup, you see it on the light bell roundup for the warmth. So they liked the idea, they had some suggestions to make sure it was something that was well vetted and trusted, which we're working on. But we're working with them on a draft of what that roundup program would look like and how it would be administered, ideally through a third party. And my computer's deciding to go crazy. So assuming that meets their expectation when we meet with them Wednesday, we'll present that to the board for consideration at the end of the month. Just a way to help folks that maybe can't meet the bills, at least take one off their plate. Certified rates, we're working on a draft of certified rates for addressing iron on the private side. That's being prepared for you as well. This too will go before the board for consideration before it comes to you guys. We feel this is an important topic to tackle. As the city tackles our side of things, consumers need to be looking at their side of things, so we need everybody to be doing their part to get the cyanide out of the system. If we spend 5 years getting it out of the city side and then add another 5 years getting it out of the private side, that's 10 years of work. So if we can kind of do it in tandem and encourage it, that's what I think we should be doing, get it done nice and quick. So we'll bring that to you guys for consideration. If the board doesn't have anything major Wednesday, then that may also come up for the end of the month. Rates, we will also be discussing our rate recommendations for the water board on Wednesday, so they're going to be really, really busy. Our aim is to include it within the 2026 budget. We passed the ordinance last year, well actually earlier this year with the rate work that we did, requiring that we review it and implement it with the budget if we're going to do it. So this will put us right on time. The water board generally has thoughts of progress with it. We'll bring it to you guys for consideration formally, and then we'll do a public hearing and schedule that probably end of November. So there's plenty of time to get word out and put it on people's water bills and things like that. So that one will be coming up. Do you want me to mention your news?
Certainly.
Okay. Rebecca has not given us her notice yet, but she has some exciting changes in life coming up, so she will be leaving us. Her commute will be rather difficult, otherwise we would probably see if she would commute. But I plan to get the position advertised and see if we can get that filled so we can kind of overlap, keep the good works going. But we'll be sad to lose you. But we appreciate that you've allowed yourself to stay on long enough to transition, so thank you for that.
You take the blame for everything.
I know.
But I'll be able to stay for a few months, so we have a very smooth transition.
Appreciate that. And then I'm just going to close on this. It's going to be a fast run up to the end of the year, so buckle up. That's cool. God.
Under new business, for our next meeting, and I know that the department heads do department head reports, but can you get the chief or one of his designees for our next meeting to provide some statistics as it pertains to the nest enforcement with some kind of graph showing at least a 3-month period?
Okay. You want comparison before, after?
Yeah, like delay, time over time, see.
I don't think they've used any overtime to do it.
No, I don't care about overtime. I want to see number of tickets.
Okay.
I want to see if there's
Before
been
nest,
an
after
increase
nest.
in traffic enforcement.
I'll see if Shannon can do that. This has been her.
Yeah, just a quick 4 or 5 minute thing, just a couple graphs, quite a little presentation on how the program's going and whether or not it's been effective.
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
Anybody else have anything for new business?
Just gonna throw out there that the vacation's over. Buckle up.
We've been on vacation?
Just saying.
All right, well, that sounds tantalizing.
No more 11-minute meetings. I'm just gonna.
Oh, just
throw
pass
that
it back?
Damn way.
All right, anything for unfinished business?
Rude.
No unfinished business going once, going twice? All right, Dave or Casey, item 12?
David's like, what? Make a motion that we close the open session and open the closed session pursuant to RSMO section 610.021, subsection 1 legal.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any nays?
We'll see you, young man.
I move we close.
Back on the regular.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? The meeting is adjourned.